that was one thing I noticed, that this happened yesterday morning, and I want to say that all week, today's Saturday morning, I want to say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I did notice that the car seemed like it was shifting, or what I perceived as harsh shifts, but I think it was actually just a misfire in that load change, because when you shift gears in a car, there's an immediate load on, load off during that gear change, and I think it was stumbling, trying to figure out how to fire that cylinder correctly with the load change, not being able to control the fuel delivery for cylinder 8. And so I did notice that issue, and then all of a sudden I just started to get random kind of rumble bumbles, no check engine lights, and then on Friday morning, I can't remember what happened, where I was, but I just was trying to accelerate, and then it really wasn't happy, and then the check engine light came on. Okay, so I'm doing a voiceover because when this happened, I was all flustered, and I was just trying to figure out what was going on. Earlier in that day, I had received a check engine light, and the engine was stumbling, misfiring, wouldn't accelerate. I was getting drivetrain malfunction warnings on the iDrive, and so this is me using the BMW diagnostic software ISTA to do a misfire diagnosis. You can see from these photos that the software showed multiple misfires. I looked at the detail for these misfires. I saw that it just occurred this one time. I did the ABL service test, which goes through a few different tests. It identified that the injector for cylinder number 8 more than likely had failed. It said that the vehicle needed an EU6 injector. And one of the troubleshooting steps that I don't have a recording of is to verify that neither the spark plug nor the coil pack had failed. I did switch those out, and the misfire was still there. And so I went ahead and followed the advice of the software and did the replacement of that number 8 injector. I forgot to record, so you guys are jumping in at the tail end of the teardown, and I thought I'd go over a few tips and tricks that I thought might help. So first thing, you can detach these hood struts and put the hood up higher so it's more vertical. So instead of trying to lean into the engine, you get straight access. I did remove some of this cowling. It's easy, just a few clips and bolts. That comes out again, making it much easier for access. You could remove this brace, but I'm of the opinion the less shit you have to remove, the better. And so then what I'm actually doing is replacing the number 8 injector. It failed, as you guys saw in the previous diagnosis and symptoms that I was experiencing. So what I've done is I've just removed some of this wiring loom. There's a few bolts that hold it in, some clips. If you get yourself a pry tool like this, I have a set of just pry tools. They work really well for getting some of those connectors, especially like this injector connector. The thing for it is right here on the injector, and it's kind of a pain. And so now I have to remove this. I'm sure it's under pressure, but I'm going to remove these lines so that way I can get this bracket off, and then I'll show you the special tool. I got it on Amazon, used for removing these injectors. Now, I am going to replace all of these injectors, but only if I replace this and it fixes the problem. If I replace this and the misfire goes away on cylinder 8, then I'll do all the injectors. If it doesn't, then there's probably something else wrong, and at this point, with 350,000 miles on this car, it might be time to get another one. I'm just taking a small crescent wrench, which I set down. Here it is. You can see this, just a small 6-inch crescent wrench, and I'm using that to loosen these. Oh. I'm sure there's a better tool, but this is what I have. Sometimes I like to give them a little bit of a twist just to make sure they're loosened up inside of there. Sometimes what will happen with these types of coils, this boot here will tear off inside, it will stick to the spark plug. It's annoying as hell. And then you gotta get the special tool to get it out. And then there's 3 bolts holding that thing on. Now this does have a connector. This is the pigtail for measuring the pressure in this rail. I'm not going to remove that just because I'm not removing any of this. I'm just getting this far enough out of the way that I can move this to get this up and out. You'll see later. So right now you can see just working on getting, there's these 3, I'll show you when I get this one out. These 3 bolts that hold this rail to the cylinder head. I took a little wrench and put a star bit inside of it. I don't remember the size. I think this is a T25 maybe? I don't know. And it just gives me that low profile clearance to get this out. Oh. It's Christmas miracle. Let's see. Get some light in here. So then this right here can or can't zoom in or out in this mode. Okay. We'll do that in post edit. It's like they have to pick a custom sized bolt for every thing. This is the bracket, and you see how it has this little, see how it's like bent a little bit? Because it's designed to put tension on those injectors to hold them in. Now some people say they can just get the injector to pull right out, but I'm not going to try that without the tool. So this is the tool, fuel injector removal and install tool, and it fits, I want to say, 12 different engines. Somewhere where we can see it better. So you can see it comes with actually 4 different tools. 3 are a bracket type, and then one of them actually uses a slide hammer to get it out. And I want to say for this car, the N63, I'm going to be using this bracket. I think it's this one's on here. Got this little gizmo gadget. You line it up. Make sure that this can go down. I don't know if that's gonna twist in there or not, but these things thread on. Okay, to the injectors. Got this. Lines up right here with this guy. Okay. It's a 13. Maybe it is. Okay. There we go. Now this doesn't necessarily have to be super tight because we're not, really it's just holding it steady. We're not trying to torque it down. So now we should be able to this wrench is huge. I don't know if this is going to fit. So this is reverse threaded, meaning when you're tightening it, you're actually loosening it. It's hot in my garage, so my camera's overheating, but basically I turn this to the left and you can see now the injector is loose, so I'll unloosen this bolt and I'll pull this out. So now I have that tool removed and the injector can come right out. Let's turn on the flash. There we go. I'll try and get a better view inside. So here we'll see if we can show you. This is the old one. And I mean, honestly, it doesn't look terrible. I'm going to be able to get it to focus there on the end. Comparing the new one here to the old one here, they're the same part number. This number is different. This one's made in Turkey. The original's made in Germany, which I wish I could have gotten one made in Germany, but wasn't an option. I can see this one doesn't have this little thing here. Let's see if we can get these better lined up. And then on the other side, let's see this one, 1041, same part number. Lies. It's not the same. It's not the same. Now I'm gonna do everything in reverse. The injector is in. I got it lined up with the tool, the brackets back on, putting this wiring loom back in. I'm getting ready to put these boots back on, and I just wanted to show you guys this dielectric grease. This is Permatex. You know, all the brands make it, but you really want to put that on the inside of the boot again. So when you go to take these boots off after they've been on the car for 30,000, 60,000 miles, you know, however long these coil packs have been in there, they don't seize to the spark plug and get stuck on there. Because then again, this rips off. I have the charger hooked up. It's set to flash mode. Right now it's supplying 15 amps. I just deleted the fault memory because it had that misfire, injector shut off, everything for cylinder 8. So now we're back. There's no other faults with the car. So then we're going to go to vehicle management, service functions, powertrain adjust injectors, this ABL display. Basically this is, you have to go in and on that injector, hang on, let me get it. So on the injector, if it's going to focus or not, you can see the number in the circle and the number to the right of it. In here, that's what it's referencing. You have to have those two numbers. DME1 is for bank 1, DME2 is for bank 2. Okay, so cylinder 8. Following values were read out to 14.99. This is 215. Can't see that, but see how that says 215? I don't know why it says 214.99, but okay. So let's go. Enter new value for cylinder number 8. I have to go back in my video and just make sure. So it was 215. So now I'm going to save these. Yes. Continue. Now it's going to reset the car. Switch off terminal 15 and terminal R. It says switch off terminal 15 and terminal R. Why isn't it start automatically. Okay. Switch on terminal 15. Okay. Continue. Let's read them out to make sure that they're in there correctly from DME2. Continue. Service function. Continue. So that's it. Everything's been reconnected. I programmed in the adaptation or the adjustment values that are on the injector, and so now I think I just start the car. I'm kind of nervous, but I guess there it goes. Oh my god, it worked. Are we getting yeah, it worked. Because before it would have already come out with the air. I mean, I guess I feel a little bit of vibration, but you can see the car has 352,000 miles. I want to say, other than potentially injector number 5, which may have been replaced for troubleshooting at like 100,000 miles, all of these are the original injectors to this car. So I think being able to get that many miles out of these injectors is good. Since that fixed the problem, I am going to, because I just bought one injector, I'm going to order the other 7, and I guess I'll replace them all. Because if this one went bad at this many miles, the others are probably not too far behind. So one thing I was checking for is just to make sure that where those fuel lines connect to the injectors, that I'm not getting any leaks. And it looks like we're in here. It's not sure. These back ones. Yeah, they all look pretty good, to be honest. Okay. So now I'm going to take the car for a test drive. I mean, it's working on the idle, but we need to make sure when we're driving it that it's also still fixed. Okay, still no check engine light. It's pretty smooth. Okay, so let's put it in gear and let's see what we get. We're not getting any misfires.